It looks like a G-Wagen. So it's actually it's a pretty damn big battery. How about 116 kilowatt hours? Yeah. So, and it's going to be 200 kilowatt fast charge capable. So it's not going to have the fastest charging specs, but you can still charge it up fairly quickly here. And, you know, the biggest benefit really is, guess what? How about 4 motors? How about a quad motor design? Now, what's interesting about this is they have tweaked this design a little tiny bit. I mean, yeah, it's a tiny bit. Supposedly, like, you know, the edge on the hood here has been rounded for improved aerodynamics. And they've added air curtains on all 4 wheels here. So basically on the front here, it's this vent, or this duct, I should say. Yeah, it sucks in air, and it actually blasts it out from inside the wheel well out around the wheel. And then there's this one on the rear as well that you can see. Actually, yeah, there's a better picture of it. So, you know, it does the same thing. Now, you might say, well, what does that really do? Well, all the air that's kind of running around the side of the vehicle as you're driving, yeah, you know, if you don't have these air curtains, they're going to have a tendency to want to get sucked into the wheel wells. And that just adds a ton of drag. You know, this can make a big difference. Even if you can get like 2 or 3 more miles on every charge, you know, that can add up. It can make a big difference, especially when we're talking about, you know, 30, 40, 50-minute charge time. And then on the rear here, we do get this new, well, they're saying it's like a little charging cable pouch or something. You know, instead of having the spare rear tire on the back of this thing. Yeah, I don't know. This is not a good look. I mean, this to me, it almost looks like this thing's carrying around like a little purse or something on its back. And not only that, but, you know, if you're not going for the spare tire, what does that say? You know what I mean? Like it kind of says you would never even do this. You would never even take it off road if you don't care about having a spare tire. So yeah, I don't know. The only good news here is, yeah, you can have a spare tire. So I would say, you know, there's plenty of room in the back. You can find a place for the charging cable. And they do promise this thing is going to be just as capable. Actually, it's more capable than the standard G-Wagen because, yeah, it's got a ton of power, a ton of low-end torque, right? I mean, this is 0 RPM torque. How about 859 pound-feet of it? And by the way, as I was kind of alluding to earlier, yeah, this is a quad motor design. So think about the torque vectoring capabilities this thing is going to have. You know, you can basically put that power to any wheel that you want. And, you know, you're going to be able to get the traction. You're just going to be able to power through stuff a lot better, in fact, aren't you? And guess what? You know, it's not just the power, the electric motors. You know, everything else is as good as the G-Wagen or better. In fact, you know, you might be worried, well, what about the battery pack on the very bottom? Well, supposedly they put this huge carbon plate over that. So you're not going to have to worry about that. And of course, you know, you got the skid plates and everything else that you come to expect. And then, yeah, too, as you can see here, there's going to be 2 different style options. Maybe you want to just go all body color, or, you know, you can have this option as well, where you have the bumpers and kind of the, you know, the fender flares blacked out. And then, yeah, so this is kind of interesting. You know, they had to do something different with the grille, you know, since it doesn't need much airflow. It still needs a little bit, you know, to keep all the components, you know, for the battery pack. That stuff, it still heats up. So, but it doesn't need, you know, the full grille like the regular G-Wagen. So they've kind of done this like, yeah, you can see there, they put like an LED outline on it. You know, actually, hey, you know, I don't mind this. It is going to, especially at night, it's probably the main, this is really going to be the main distinction, right? Between how are you going to distinguish an EQG from a G-Wagen? Yeah, you're going to look for the light up grille basically. And so I guess I could say, you know, actually it doesn't look too bad. And I'm actually really happy to report, like really happy, that they didn't try to do that silly light up badge. Now, of course, you're spending a lot of money on this thing, so you expect the interior to really be something special. And yeah, it is something special. In fact, you know, it's going to, hey, it's edition 1. Now, you might think, well, how do I get that? Is that like some kind of limited edition? No, this is like, they say that this is going to be every single, this is going to be every single one. This is every 2025 model year is an edition one. But yeah, as you can see, the theme is too this blue stitching. It's almost like a turquoise or a teal actually. So that's the electric, signature color. So yeah, you can see it. It's all throughout the interior. And in fact, you might have noticed this as well. They got the matching brake calipers too. So, but yeah, as far as like the interior goes, obviously you're spending almost, let's be honest, by the time you option this thing up, you're spending 200 grand, aren't you? So of course, Mercedes is going to deliver a fantastic interior here. I mean, the details, the materials, a lot of this is the same as the regular G-Wagen. So it's nothing too surprising, but we do get this kind of like updated infotainment and gauge cluster screen with all the, not only all the off-road stuff, but of course you're going to have all the electric stuff in here as well. I mean, check this out. You can actually see the individual wheels, the power, the grip level going to each wheel. So, of course this is like, it's all fun stuff to look at, isn't it? And, you might say, well, hey, I could get all this same tech, basically, and the same look in that Ineos, that new Ineos, but guess what? It's not going to be, trust me, it's not going to have this level of refinement. You're not going to have all these features here. I mean, think about it. That thing drives, it basically drives like an old tractor, right? So you can have this look. You can have this off-road capability, if that's what you want, you can have it, and then you can still have all the benefits of an electric vehicle, can't you? The silence, I don't know, hopefully, I mean, hey, hey, if you're spending 200 grand on this thing, surely you've got, a nice charger at home that you can plug into, hey, just don't go for the purse. Don't go for the purse on the back.